Now is the time to bet on yourself. You do not need to wait until a certain moment. You do not need to wait until you look a certain way, till you reach a certain spot in life, until this, until that, whatever the case may be. Now is the time to bet on yourself. The only thing you really wait on when it comes to betting on yourself is you. There doesn't need to be a certain moment. There doesn't need to be a certain opportunity. There doesn't need to be something that happens before in order for you to start betting on yourself. And I believe betting on yourself is when you start to decide, when you start to do, when you start to choose. I think a lot of the time for the things that we want in life, we'll say, I'll see, I'll try, like, I'll see if this works out. Instead of saying, I decide to do this, I choose this, I bet on myself. Like, this is what I desire, this is what I am doing. You know, when you try something, it's like, it's trying to see if it's something that aligns with you. It's trying to see if this is something you want to include in your life. You seeing about this is because you don't know if it's something that fits with you yet. But once you know that this thing fits with you, once you know that this is something you want for yourself, once you know that this is something that you want in your life, that is when you can start to replace the word I'm going to try with I am going to do. I am going to decide. That is betting on yourself. Now is the time to decide. Now is the time to choose to do and not just try, but do. And doing something doesn't always mean it's going to work out perfectly the first time you do it. It still means that you're doing it though. When you do something, there may be detours, there may be challenges, there may be mistakes, but it doesn't mean that you're not doing it. You're doing that thing. A part of the doing process, a part of the deciding process is the detours, is the challenges, is the mistakes, is the things that have you questioning yourself. But it's when you push through that you know that you are deciding, knowing that you are doing it. You know, you're not just trying this thing, you're doing it because you know it's something that you desire within your life. So recently, I've been replacing the word try with do for the things that I know I want in my life. And it's honestly changed a lot. There's been a lot more doing, and there's been a lot less wavering. There's been a lot more assertiveness and less fear. It's like, I'm doing this. I'm not just trying it. I've already tried it. I know I want it. Therefore, I am now doing it. I am now deciding. And that's betting on yourself. And now is the time to bet on yourself. You literally have nothing to lose by betting on yourself. And the only thing that you need to wait on, honestly, to bet on yourself is you. You are the only thing you need to wait on when it comes to betting on yourself. You can choose right now in this moment to begin that journey. It doesn't need to be at the beginning of 2025. It doesn't need to be when you finally get this done. It doesn't need to be when you finally get this and you have this certificate and you have this title. It doesn't need to be any of that. You can begin to bet on yourself right now. You can begin to look at yourself and say, I know I can do it. Like, it doesn't matter where I find myself right now. The other week, I watched this speech by Kamala, and she said something that really stood out to me. She said that now is the time to not throw up our hands, but roll up our sleeves. Defeat does not mean defeated. Only you can decide that. So when you come across defeat, only you can decide if that defeat is going to turn into defeated. And the only thing that can allow that defeat to turn into defeated is when you give up. But you have another choice, and that choice is turning that defeat into progress, into evolution, into expansion, because you're allowing yourself to not throw your hands up, but roll up your sleeves and keep going. And that keep going might mean you have to do it in another way, or this way, or whatever. Every circumstance is different. But only you get to decide if you turn that defeat into defeated. Only you. And that is something that stood out to me in that speech. Loved that speech. An example of saying you're going to do something rather than saying that you're going to try something is, let's say there's a Friday afternoon, right? And your friend's like, oh, what are you going to do this weekend? And you're like, well, I'm going to try to clean my room, or I'm going to try to do a deep clean, or I'm going to try to get this grocery run done, or I'm going to try to get this errand done. Why are you saying that you're trying it when you can really decide to do it? You can decide to wake up at a certain time to get in the deep clean before you go to your other activity. You can decide to fit in the grocery run on a Sunday afternoon after you did whatever class you had that day or whatever activity or event you had that day. There are multiple options when it comes to deciding, when it comes to doing something. And when you say try, you're giving yourself that room to be like, well, I only said try, so that means I don't really have to go through with it. But then at the end of the day, you're like, well, damn, like I wanted to do that and I didn't do it. Like I said I was going to try, but oh well, I didn't get to it. But now you're disappointed in yourself because you didn't do it. Next time, eliminate the word try from your vocabulary. No, I'm going to decide to deep clean. I'm going to decide to go do this grocery run. I'm going to decide to go get this book and start reading it because honestly, you are in charge of your actions. You are in charge of it. You can try to do something and leave yourself that room to not do it because you're on the fence, or if it's something that you know you need to do and you know that it will feel good doing it for you in your life and whoever is involved in your life, you can decide to do it. You don't have to try because you are in control of your body. You can decide to do it. You can get your agenda book out. You can write in, I'm going to be doing this day at this time, and you can do it. It really depends on what your priorities are. Like, what are your priorities right now? Because you don't have to try with your priorities. You can just decide and do with your priorities. And I know that everyone has different life circumstances, and sometimes they feel they're not able to because of extreme circumstances. I get it. I completely get it. But you can still decide to start small. Like, I am going to decide to make my bed today. Some people are at that point. That's okay. That's a small thing you can decide to do today. You're not going to try to do it. You're going to decide to do it. I'm trying to think of other examples, but whatever is right for you at this moment within your life, whatever aligns with you at this moment in your life, and it's something that you know you want in your life, and it's something that you know will support you in the most beneficial way possible within your life. Allow yourself to take out the word try and replace it with decide and do. And that's going to look different for everyone depending on what they have going on within their lives. I know for me, the things I am deciding and I am doing, they are things that I prioritize. They are things that feel good. They are things that I would like to see in my life. Therefore, I am doing them. I'm not just trying, I'm doing them. And the things that I may be trying are things that I'm still exploring, still discovering, still seeing if it's something I want in my life, because we get to choose. We get to discover, we get to explore. You get to discover, you get to explore, and that's through trying things. But once you know from the trying that this is something that you know you want in your life, you will start to decide to do it. You will start to choose to do it. You can decide to start eating healthier. You can decide to start exercising more. You can decide to start this personal project. You can decide to post whatever you want to post. You can decide to start talking to this person. You can decide to forgive this person. You can choose. You can do whatever you feel is best for you, whatever aligns best for you within this moment of your life, okay? So, bet on yourself. Now is the time to bet on yourself and start deciding, less trying for the things that you know you want in your life. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Remember that you are completely capable of becoming the authentic, best version of yourself, and that everything is always working out for you, no matter what it seems like at any given point in time. I will see you guys in the next video.